Yo, this is a motherfucker who needs no introduction. You are watching Breaking Records Radio.
Yeah.
Super dope.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Mercury Records because they weren't exactly a hip hop imprint in 1991 when Wolf in Sheep's Clothing come out. Of course, they had Curtis Blow, which I think was probably their most dominant kind of hip hop act. I think the raw bass and DJ Easy Rock Takes Two was also released on Mercury, but for the most part, they weren't really kind of a hip hop focused label. And then furthermore, the rest of the Native Tongues crew weren't on Mercury. What ended up kind of aligning those stars together in order for you to end up signing to Mercury, and why did you end up choosing Mercury over, I assume, other offers that were on the table?
Well, you know what? Like, you're 100% right. It was not a hip hop established label, especially at that point in time. The artists that they did work with were kind of, no one was current.
Yeah.
And you know, they had signed a few new acts, and you know, we had the opportunity to be one of them. And after kind of making our rounds, you know, like we met with Def Jam, we met, you know, with a few other labels. Honestly, we felt like they had the time to invest in us. That, you know, everyone else really seemed like kind of like their agenda was kind of set, and we'd be trying to infiltrate what they had going on. But Mercury kind of looked at us like we'd be doing them a favor, you know what I'm saying? And that's what we needed. Like, you know, like that's what we felt like we needed. We felt like we needed your attention. You know, we were new. We didn't want to get thrown into any blender. We didn't want to see if we stuck on a wall. We wanted someone that was going to take the time to look at what we were doing, examine it with us, and help it advance it all on the same page, not with an agenda, not with someone in front of us. That's more important. And, you know, like, and for that aspect, it worked. It played well to our advantage. But to other aspects that, you know, like there's a savviness that a hip hop label has, you know what I'm saying, as far as, you know, being able to cut corners, being able to see the entire room, you know what I'm saying, how it plays out organically. And, you know, some of that stuff doesn't matter in a major label. Like, you know, one of the things that I learned, you know, being on Mercury was, you know, all right, Mercury is owned by Polygram, but Polygram's owned by Philips Light. And so, you know, the realities start coming into place that, you know, like, it's all about, you know, bottom line is it's not necessarily about artistry, even though they might present that to you. If this doesn't make Philips Light money, then this is just a write-off. This is just, you know, so imagine, you know, like, you know, Philips Light is looking at Polygram, Polygram's looking at Mercury, Mercury's looking at us. Okay, now we get it. You know, so we was able to kind of incorporate that understanding into how we started moving. But at the same time, we still felt like, you know, the people that signed us, Lisa Cortez, a queen of a woman, and Dave Gossett, who was our age. You know what I'm saying? We felt like we could communicate with them. You know what I'm saying? Lisa and Dave both came from the Def Jam camp. You know what I'm saying? So we felt like they had an idea of how to move this. And mind you, between the first and second album, an entire different staff. And then, you know, like everything was different. And Universal was about to be the owner. Universal was about to buy a Polygram. So, you know, it was a lot that was going on that we got caught up in artistically and business-wise, you know, during the second, which played into, you know, how the music was received as well. But initially, you know, like we felt good about Polygram and about Mercury. They had let us pick the first two singles. They let us kind of deliver, you know, our music how we saw fit. I wasn't in agreement with them picking the third single, which was Strobe Light. I just felt like it was just totally the wrong single to come behind The Choice Is Yours. And they had to do a lot of coaxing to get me to go along with it. And for the year, it was the number 16th song on the dance charts. So it kind of did.
It worked in a way.
felt like it was just the wrong single. It like they trusted us to do the first two. I wish they had just kept trusting us and to see how it played out. But it was cool. It was quite an experience. And once we had some success with the first album, I got an imprint of my own, One Love, and brought out the Legion and Image. And once the politics of the second album started going down for us, my imprint, all of that played into what we were going through as well. And it got to the point once it got to the point that me and Long were looking at each other like not really feeling how we're standing next to each other, it was kind of over for me. I was like, you know what, like I didn't get into this to catch a case. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna step back and and it was a good opportunity for me to prove to myself, like, like this wasn't a fluke. I'll start over and I'll do it independently, and I'll learn a lot of the things that were being done for me, and I'll do it again on my own. And and it's been quite a ride for me. I've enjoyed the journey immensely. You know what I'm saying? And still here doing what I do.
Right now she on an elevator. I'm not trying to waste your time or give you all of mine. I just wanna vibe with your vibes. I don't wanna keep your heart, but I can tell you where to start. I just wanna vibe with your vibe, with your vibe. I don't need to know your name or the places that you've been. I just wanna vibe with your vibe, with your vibes. I don't need to hear about your mistakes or the times you ended at his place. Just wanna vibe with your vibes. Just vibe with your vibe with your vibe. Just vibe with your vibe with your vibe. Just vibe with your vibe with your vibe with your. I got some things in my past that I wouldn't care to reenact. Broke some hearts that I can't take back. I wasn't.